and welcome to Tabletop 24. I'm Alan.
I'm John.
And welcome to the big cull of 2022. This is my first cull of the collection, and I've realised I've run out of space. These are games that I've been living in my living room, which is away from the games room, and on bottom shelves behind us. So we're going to start with these. We are going to analyse why they're in the collection and what's going to happen with them. Johnny's here as my conscience to essentially ensure that what I'm getting rid of is what I want to get rid of, and also making sure I'm getting rid of stuff, because I do not have room in this collection for stuff that's coming in. I've got a couple of Kickstarters in the works that are just not going to fit in the space I've got. As many of us, I've got fairly limited space. I reorganised the space in here 2 or 3 times just to eke in those few extra games, but we are now at a point of breaking point. So we're going to go through these. I'm not too sure yet whether this is going to be a one-shot video or multiple parts, mainly because of the volume of games. But we think we're going to go through pretty much everything, old, new, and just talk through what's sort of going on.
Given what you got, we could either be a very long video or it'll be broken down. I think breaking down work better.
Yeah, we'll probably break it down. Probably do these ones, and then we'll come back. So
yeah.
Okay, so let's first off.
We're limited to the amount of weight the table can take.
Yeah, so I'm going to say first off, let's make a bit of space, shall we? So let's move some of this.
Well, I'll tell you what. Right, first of all, Forbidden Desert.
I like the Forbidden Games. I do like the Forbidden Games. They're good. I got rid of Forbidden Sky. I don't own Forbidden Island, so it was kind of a.
It's not Forbidden Desert, is it?
It's not Forbidden Desert. I mean, if it was a Forbidden Desert, I wouldn't be getting rid of it.
I like this series of games. They are nice, come in a nice tin. Like tin. Tins are good. Awkward, yeah, they don't stack very well. But, I mean...
The component quality are really nice on these.
Yeah, but how often has it got some table?
It's a very introductory game.
Yeah.
And...
Yeah.
Put that one in a maybe pile.
Maybe.
A maybe pile. We've been contemplating getting rid of it for a little while.
I mean, the thing is, I know other people in our game group have got this. And that's always a consideration, is that doubling up of games. Do you actually need a copy of somebody else's got it? And I genuinely, there's a couple of games here that I have got a copy of, but Just One is a great family game. Not just family, anybody can play this, and a great party game. So I think, there's justification of having a copy of that, even though somebody else has got it.
So let's go. So Forbidden Desert is going in the maybe pile. What we'll do is we will go through the maybe pile at the very end, and we will come back to any of those.
Yeah.
Just one staying. It's
like I say,
family.
Yeah,
that's not going anywhere. I think.
Agreed. I'd keep that in my collection too.
Right, Arcadia Quest, massive miniatures game. This was my first big game purchase. I still haven't painted it yet. It's a Call Me No Not game.
Okay.
There's a little bit of campaign element here. I've had it out a couple of times. I'm going to keep this until I've played the campaign all the way through.
Okay.
And then we will probably look to pass it on. So that is a keep for now.
That's fair enough. Justice League Hero Dice.
Now, this was a part of a pack that I got from Meeple's Corner for supporting their Kickstarter, so big shout out to them, which was a game there. It does play solo. It is part of a set. I am going to attempt to play it a few times. It's still on my shelf of shame. Play it a couple of times and then it will probably go. Now, I think this will probably be a small price on a go pile, but it's in the maybe for me for now, purely because I've not played it. And once I've played it, then I'm looking to pass it on.
Fair enough.
All right.
Could be another Heart and Crown.
It could be another Heart and Crown. Who knows?
Could be another Heart and Crown. Macri. So Macri is a brand new game to us. It's a solo game. I'm not going to give you too much detail because I will be doing a play again on this. If it's not up on the channel now, it will be there soon. I do like my solo games. It's very punishing, is what I will say to start with. So that is a stay. The thing is, it's got a Golden Geek Award, so it's got to be worth playing just to see if it.
Yeah, I think the Golden Geek is on the first edition. This is the reprint, so that'll be staying because I've only just sort of played that, but it will be staying probably until I do the next big cull. So that is a stay.
Buffy Buffy battles.
Yeah, so the versus system. This hasn't been played. We picked it up, me and the wife, because she's a big Buffy fan. and it's not been played. So that is to go. We've played it.
Is that the first one you're getting rid of?
Definitely the first one I'm getting rid of. So go there. Macro. I've not finished playing through all the scenarios, and I want to play through them before it goes. Yeah. But I'm very much willing to pass that or swap that with somebody that's got the second. And it might be by the time we get around to the maybe pile that I'll have backed through a few more of them.
Yeah, it's a great game. It's a cracking idea. Some of the themes are a bit adulty, which is a negative for me. But it's a crime who wears Waldo.
Yeah.
Really, it's you know.
I just need a session where I think I'll sit down and play it. I think playing it at a higher count. I mean, it does say 1 to 4, but I think if you're playing it with more than 2, somebody's missing out on something.
Pandemic Legacy.
Let's do these as a block, right? Okay, so quite easily, Legacy Season 0 has not been played yet. It's still in shrink, so that's not going anywhere because that will be played. Legacy Season 1, I am definitely keeping because you can still play a base game of Pandemic.
Okay.
Yes, there are spoilers in there for anybody that's not played Pandemic, but you can still play the normal traditional Pandemic, so that will stay. Season 2, you can still play the last game scenario in it. I don't think that's really spoilerific to anybody, but I'm more likely to potentially get rid of that. Now, obviously, I can't pass that on to anybody, so what I might do is strip out the components and keep the components, and unfortunately, it will be to the bin with that one, or whatever I can get done recycling.
There's a lot of people out there, hearts panicking, to the bin.
Yeah, and I hate doing stuff like that, but I think at this point in time we've kind of got to. So let's try and get rid of those. So they will be staying. They are on a shelf all of their own at the moment. So I think, like I say, Season 1 will stay, and we've got Season 0 still to play. So
Tavern Masters.
Yeah, this was a little bit of a Kickstarter regret. It was one of my first all-in Kickstarters. You'll see, signed by the artist and the designer. It's a nice little, quick sort of engine building game. It comes with some really nice coins that I've since put elsewhere. It's also simultaneous play. There's a few expansions in here. I just think there's other games that are there that are a little bit better.
That's nice.
Yeah, I mean, everything about it is nice, and the Kickstarter itself went through a little bit of turmoil to actually be made. So I like that there's a bit of sentimental value.
There's a lesson in there.
But there's very much a lesson in there in regards to what you back, and not everything is as good as it potentially looks online. So this is going to go in a maybe pile for me, in the sense that
maybe pile's big.
That maybe pile's big. Yes.
No. You've got to commit now to getting rid of these.
Yeah. So that,
maybe
that's maybe. The only reason is I want to give it one more opportunity, one more chance.
Okay. I think realistically, there's other games that we will get to the table before that will come out, and that will, if that's on a maybe shelf, your maybe shelf is going to never move.
Yeah.
And that's what you need to be harsh with it, unfortunately. Right. So, Cull Express.
Yeah. I mean, that's not going anywhere. I love Cull Express. You've got a copy of it.
Yeah.
You've also got 2 of the expansions, which you got the DeLorean expansion and the Marshals and Prisoners.
Yes, I have.
Yeah. There is a 3rd expansion, and then there's the mini expansions for the AI.
Yes.
People.
Yeah.
I think it's brilliant.
And I also printed out myself a baseboard for it. So there is a neoprene mat for it, but I printed out that on large colour pieces, so it looks lovely on the table.
Yeah, for me, it ain't going anywhere. I might change my mind next year. I think it's been a staple in my collection, but typically when we play it, we play your version.
It's one of the first games that I ever bought.
Now, I'm going to break this, and I'm actually going to come up here. I'm going to bring down Super Cull Express, or Cull Express Super. It's Cull Super Express. Anyway, Cull Super Express. This is Cull Express Lite. I think it gives enough of what Cull Express is about, but it's not the full game. So there is potential that I will get rid of this and keep this.
Yeah, again, it goes down to that thing that somebody else has got a copy of it. Do I need to keep it? I would have that over that.
Yeah, and actually, I think I would as well. But I think the fact that you've got that, and I know a few people have got that, then I'll probably keep that. So I'm gonna.
How can you get rid of trains? Think of trains.
I know. I've even 3D printed the tokens for it as well.
Yes.
So,
Those?
I like it. So that is going to be a keep. As will be Super Cotton Express or Cotton Express, Super Express. But I can very much see one of these two going, and I think it will be this one purely for size.
Yeah.
All right. So they are going to stay, but how much longer for? I am not 100% sure.
Rivals, networks.
So this is still on the shelf for Sam. I like the networks, and I really want to try this out. And again, it falls into the same category as. So actually, let's bring out the networks as well. So networks, I think what Gil does with from Forward for It does with the networks, the tongue-in-cheek nature.
It's great.
It is really, really cool. I think I've not played the networks as much as I'd like. I think that's why I want to give the rival networks a go. And it may be a case that one or two of these stay. Now, 2-player games, do they get to the table as often? I was really excited to get this in. It's not got to the table yet. But it's because it falls into that two-player issue.
But this is why we would play again. How often would we, size of collections, would we play them again? How soon are they going to get back to the table? And with everybody else's collections, that it's a very pertinent point that we're trying to make, that you can't, only get a finite amount of game time that you can play. So how often do they get to the table? I like the networks. I'd like to play it more often.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, both of these are I'm going to keep them, but expect them to come back around at some point. They're also quite heavy, I think.
So just pause. What have we got on the definitely going?
One game.
One game. Out of how many?
Not telling you. So
I know another one that I can drag into this that will be going. The one at the front. Arse Riders.
Yeah.
Badass Riders.
Yeah. Let's go get this. So this is another Kickstarter thing. I think this is a very nicely produced game. For what I paid for it, I probably overpaid. I think I saw shiny and I magpied to get it. Now, this has some really, 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 really nice resin miniatures, which hopefully you'll be able to see them up there. Incredibly, the detail on these miniatures is absolutely fantastic, right? That was the main part of the price point. Now, there's a bit of a game here, and I think for the right people, this would work really nice. There's a campaign in here. There's everything about sort of tile racing game that you might enjoy, but it's not got to the table as much as other games have.
I think
for us.
I played it once, and I'll be brutally honest, once was enough for me.
Yeah. So I want to go back to this and revisit this, mainly to go back over the rules. And there was a time when I picked this up that my rules understanding and my rules teach was very poor, to say the least. And I've worked on that quite a lot, and hopefully my teaching is now a lot damn sight better than it was.
We default teach to
Yeah. Yeah. We won't go into me reading the rule book to a game whilst playing another game and then winning at subsequent game and doing very well in the. So anyway, that's obviously says more about my play or less about my teach.
Or more about us.
Yeah. So this will be going. It will be leaving the collection. I think I do want to read the rule book once more just to make sure I've not missed anything in there. But anybody that was to pick this up, they've got a nice game, even if they use the miniatures for something like some of the car RPGs that are out there. So let's get over there. Unlock. Now, Unlock is, for me, was very good. I bought it with an intention to play it with some others to do the puzzling stuff. I've since played the Sherlock case and the 8-bit case. They're both fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I'm yet to play the Alex case, which is the hardest of the three. But this will go once I've played the third one. There's no point for me to keep this in my collection. No. What I'd like to do is swap it for another one. And see if there's anybody out there that would want to swap this Unlock for one of their Unlocks. Because this is the only one I've ever played. And they play really well, playing about an hour. And I think they're quite clever in what they use and what they do. So that will be a maybe, but only a maybe in the sense of I just need to play it once more. And I just need to get an hour where I'm sitting down with an app. So, Marrakesh. I think it's fairly safe to say we haven't played this enough yet.
No.
And I'm going to actually lead with this will go. But it's not leaving the game group. This is going to go to John. Once we've done our we'll play again for it, this will be going to John. This was kindly provided by Hachette Board Games, so thank you to them for them again.
Thank you.
The first initial impressions is a fantastic family weight game.
Yeah, there's more of a game in there than I think you realise. The little rugs and stuff are nice, but yes, it's
Let's tell you what this is.
it's a good little game.
Very quickly, very briefly. So you've actually got these linen cloth
Felt.
yeah, felt rugs that you'll be placing on the board. So they are quite nice. But like I say, for me, it's possibly taking up space that something else could.
Yeah.
But I think for John, it will be something in his collection for a while.
I think my family would love that.
So that will be leaving the we'll be leaving the collection. Look, it's going over that way. Three. This is Decorum. Again, heavy game.
Good game.
It's not going anywhere yet.
No.
We will be doing a we'll play again of this as soon as we can get a few more plays under our belt. May well be out in time to beat this video, but there's a campaign in here for 2 players. There's also a campaign here for 3 players, and also they're bringing out more in the app. So I think what I might do with this is hold on until the app comes out. See what the validity is in the app. The campaigns that we've played so far are really, really good. So
yeah, I worry about the actual replayability of it, but hopefully the app will, because it might be a bit samey. The couple of games that we played are a little bit samey, but who knows?
Yeah.
Steampunk Rally Fusion.
So this is 2 games in one. So technically it's half the space.
So it's that's not a justification for keeping it.
So in here, it's a dice rolling engine builder.
More dice.
Really nice dice, though.
Yeah, lots of dice.
They are really nice dice. And then you're not going to be able to get them back in there, are you?
Yeah.
That's got a lot of content in it because it is the Kickstarter edition of Fusion. So this isn't going anywhere. This needs more play. I think the production from Roxley was fantastic on it, and the content that's actually in the box is brilliant. There's enough in there to go several times, and I think it's got quite a high player count from memory. So
doesn't say on the box.
No, I don't think it is, because it's actually a dual layer box, because you've got that. Yes. Oh, it does on the back there, 2 to 8. So it does play 8. So something like this could quite easily, is going to be replacing something like Balance Riders. So that is not going anywhere.
Red Rising.
It's not going anywhere, that one. And that's mainly my attachment to the IP. When this was announced from Stonemaier, I got on the book. So this is based on a series of books, and I picked those up on the back of the game being announced. And I've been out of touch with my reading for quite a while. I don't read a lot other than a rule book, and I read the rule books for this, and I read the book for this, and it just sung to me. Yes, people will argue that it's very much a spin of Fantasy Realms, but for me, I think the quality in the deluxe edition is great. There's some argument about the colour of some of the cubes, but I think the artwork's fantastic, the production's fantastic, and for me, it touches a different point on there. So seeing the characters that I've read come to life in the images that have been portrayed in here, it does play solo. I've played quite a few games of solo of this. I think I played over 10 games of this solo last year, so it's staying in the collection for me. Maybe in a year's time I might feel a little bit different, but for now it don't go anywhere because
I played this and I've read the books. I didn't played it but didn't love it. It was, I maybe need to play it a bit more. I know there's hipster at the moment is to bash on Stonemaier games a little bit, production value over gameplay. But yeah, I'd like to play it a bit more. I think I don't think I've played it enough. But yeah, I didn't fall in love with it when I first played it.
Yeah. And again, for me, it was just about the IP. I think the IP pushed this over the line for me. I think it's a solid game, but I think the IP pushed it over for me.
Plus, you got the collector's edition.
Yeah, it is the collector's edition, so there's a few extra niceties in there.
We cleared no space. Because no,
but we've only gone through a few bits.
Marrakech is staying there till we've done the video. Badass Riders is staying there till you read the rulebook again. So we've only got rid of a tiny box so far.
Oh, I'm going to get rid of Badass Riders. Let's go. And so what's next?
He said that now. He can't take it.
Yeah, I can't take it. So Zombicide. This is my only Zombicide. This is Prison Outbreak. So this is season 2. It's a bit roughed up because it has been played a few times, and the box is a bit.
It's broken.
Yeah, the box is broken, to be fair, which hurts. But anybody that knows when they've got these big miniature games, it's a bit of a problem. Now there is a reason why this will not be going anywhere, because this is my first.
Well, you did a fantastic paint job on them.
I wouldn't say fantastic, passable paint job. So we have got everything in here is painted. So not just the survivors, the zombies are painted as well. And yeah, there's a lot of time put into the set. No, I like Zombicide as a whole. I think it's a good game. I think it has its place. I know people with a lot more Zombicide than what I've got.
And in our game group as well.
So for me, I don't need another edition of Zombicide. I think this is enough, unless they change it drastically. I know they've come up with second edition now, but I think this is enough for me. It could be something that I pass on at a later date, but for now, it stays put purely because I've put so much time into painting it.
Yeah, I think they become personal when you do. It's like my copy of My Little Scythe. I'd probably stick around in my collection because it's all painted up. And of Mice and Mystics of mine, which I haven't played, which was a gift from Sam. Thank you very much, Sam. That we need to get round with the family to sitting down and playing at some point.
Yeah, and also, who's going to want to buy it when there's a big, massive tear in the box?
Yeah.
So I have tried to repair that several times, but each time it just gives way. So that's right.
Chronicles of Crime.
So I like what Lucky Duck do with their app innovation stuff. I think there is an issue with this one for me, that there's a paywall behind some of the scenarios. Now, that's not really a negative considering the cost of this. I mean, most people, you can pick it up for about between 20 and 30 quid, and you've got, I want to say there's 5 sort of missions included, but you can pick up extra missions using exactly what's in here for a little bit extra each time, which again, it's not ruinous. Coming back to sort of cost of value and cost of play and stuff like that, this is, you get a lot out of what you pay for it, but considering you only play it once, I've got, I think, 2 more scenarios to play. I think it'll go. So yes, it's going in the maybe pile, but it won't be sticking around because I've got very little interest in picking up the expansions.
Fair enough.
At the minute, so
it doesn't tickle that fancy, and
I think Lucky Duck did very well with Chronicles of Crime when it very first came out. I think there's a lot of people going into that space, and I think there's other games that will take precedence over this now for me, and it's a nice experience, and having the crime scene.
Crime stories.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a nice experience, and I think that'll be great, and that will be going as soon as I can get those last few cases out of the way. Then there's quite a few here, sort of mystery style games that will be going as soon as they're sort of one shots.
Yeah,
I think will potentially disappear straight easy. Western Legends.
Box weighs a ton.
And I've got the big box coming. So this ain't going anywhere anytime soon. And you will see Blood Money, one of the expansions up there, which is not going in this box until I've got the big box.
It's a good game.
It's a nice game, and it fills a niche in that sandbox element.
Yeah,
I think it's an RPG without being an RPG.
Yeah.
So this won't go anywhere for the time being. It hasn't got to the table as much as I'd like.
It needs more place.
Most of my collection needs more place, but
so does mine.
So
does everybody. Again, would play again. Like and subscribe down below.
So this isn't going anywhere, particularly until I get the last bit from the big box Kickstarter. And then it will be a complete collection, and then I'll make a decision at that point. Somebody might take it as a complete rather than partial, particularly with that Kickstarter coming up. So
it'll kind of the same with me with Wingspan. I'll be getting the big box and probably the latest expansion when that comes out, just to be for the completist in me. You know, and I know you've done that with Scythe. You've got the big box with Scythe. You know, and what is it with gamers? We just have to have that completion thing.
Yeah, and it's a completion thing. It made some say it's an endorphin release. Some say it's it's a habit, a compulsion.
I think yes, there is not a compulsion, but it's that it's the cult of the new, isn't it? It's oh, look at that, that's shiny, that's Kickstarter. A lot of people have backed it. I should be in on that as well, and then maybe the buyers regret later on. I mean, I'd steer clear of Kickstarter, apart from backing Ra recently, but that's a game that I want rather than, and I don't know it, but I know the reputation of it.
Yeah, so, it's not a new game; it's a reprint, isn't it? So you're very much in the realms of you know what you're getting. But speaking of collecting everything, these are only 2 of the 3 that I've got. So I've actually got another one behind the camera at the minute. But I'll mention them as a whole, unmatched. What I mentioned in our UKGE recap, we got to play unmatched over that weekend, me and Benji. John's not played it yet, but these aren't going anywhere. And if anything, I'm going to be adding more. I did not back the Game Found campaign that's come out recently for a storage solution. So the storage solution should aim to condense these down, but they still take up a pretty small form factor.
Yeah,
overall. They're not massive.
Not Western Legend size. They're not big box size. They're not Dune Imperium big box size either.
But I have also got an agreement with Benji that we're probably going to share a collection, in the sense of we're not going to go and get everything ourselves, and there'll be very few sets that we will try and get duplicate of. So it will be a case of I will have half, he'll have half. So it's not like I'm going to be filling up the room with a match, but I don't think you need to. I think you mix in a matching on that. So they will be staying, but they'll probably actually be growing, and I will try and find some sort of storage solution for them. And last up is from this sort of section is Cantaloupe. And so I've just finished playing this, and there will be a we'll play again of this coming up. So I'm not going to go through this in too much detail, but I enjoyed it, and it is a one shot. You could replay it again, but you'd know pretty much 90% of what you need to do in that. So this will be leaving the collection, and the only reason it's not going straight away is that I just need to do the play again for it. So this will be going, so that's gone, and I will be looking to get the second one. So that is actually going over there. So
4 out of how many? 20?
Many, possibly more. So let's go back. I'm going to knock everything over now. Forest of Kakarin. I do think that warrants a little bit more play. Unlock. I'm going to commit to playing that. Travel Masters. Go put it over there. Macro. Again, I need to commit to playing this. Justice League Hero Dice. Got to play it once.
At least got to play it once.
And Forbidden Desert. I'm not sure.
See, I would push that over there straight away.
I think it's a nice game. I think it's a nice co-op game. I'm now trying to think how many co-op games I actually own now.
The thing with this, I think there's co-op games that do things better than this does, and this is limited. You can alpha this quite easily. I think there's co-op games that play better and do better things than this. So I would put that over there. But
go on, then you convince me. Yeah, see, I told you.
Oh, you know, Ali, I'm trying. I mean, that's getting a bit better.
Like I say, these ones here, there's 4 of them. How quickly they leave is just down to how quickly I can get to play them.
Yeah,
I think. I may even make a commitment to finish that unlock this weekend.
There you go.
And like I said, it is only an hour. It's not. They're not.
There you go. You can do that after this.
Could do.
Won't do.
Potentially. Won't do. But yeah, these will be played through quite quickly. But yeah, so that's the start of the cull.
Yeah, it's the start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's better.
And they're not exactly small boxes either, so that frees up potentially a whole hole in the Kallax.
Yeah, and then there's the whole. I mean, the little box games. It's not a problem keeping some of those.
No, a bit of reorganisation.
Yeah, yeah.
So people can't actually see at the minute, but up in this corner, I've just started stacking stuff on top of stuff, and it's not pretty and it's not great. So
the game's the next game.
We're going to be back looking at this. So
yeah,
thank you for joining us in what is going to be our first episode of this cull. If you haven't done so already, give us a like and a subscribe. check out all the other videos on the channel, and we'll be back shortly. Take care.
Thank you.